but any conversation that I go and have with CISOs, I would ask them to take a risk-based approach. Now, if you took a risk-based approach, you're starting your journey well. Most businesses want to go and mature everything. Maturing process is not going to give you anything, which is when you end up in situations like I said, you start overprotecting low priority assets. Unknowingly, that's not what you wanted to do. That was not your intention. But maturing your processes, maturing your methods to do SecOps is a wrong approach. Or I wouldn't say wrong approach. That approach could possibly stick to an approach which is more risk-driven. So risk-based approach is the important approach. That's my first point to any CISO. Now, bring AISecOps. So if you start thinking risk-based approach, you'll automatically start thinking ways of bringing automation, because you're starting to think risk at every stage. Now you'll say, okay, if I can reduce this risk by way of automation, by way of bringing some AI capability, by doing a lot of machine learning at that stage, at that identified risk, train a model and get that applied on my environmental work. So it automatically brings AI into the picture. The next thing that I would like them to do is actually do serious risk quantification models. Now, there are ways to do it. For example, we are helping our customers in engagements very early in any engagement, running risk quantification models. Now, if you did a risk quantification model, a lot of decision making that happens thereafter is going to be very, very critical and very useful to you when you start with a risk quantification model overarched by a risk-based approach. Now, you've done some of this, you will automatically, and nobody has to come and tell you this, you will automatically ingest everything. Bring every piece of data, ingest it, call it a data lake, call it a data pond, but you will bring everything together. And then, because you've taken a risk-based approach, you know where to apply intelligence, where to apply cognitive capabilities. It will automatically come because that's the way you're driven. You will start thinking unsupervised learning. You'll start thinking cognitive insights at a risk point, at an identified space where you think this is what can be, a lot of business impact. So you start to apply cognitive insights, start to do a lot of unsupervised learning. In businesses, it is very important to realize vulnerabilities have a reverse symbiosis to, how much you can apply from tooling and patching. If you did that well, then you got everything working in a manner that is aligned to how you would want to see your AISecOps risk-driven approach maturing for you. Now, once you've done, because you realized in the journey that you'll have to do unsupervised learning, you'll have to bring cognitive insights, you'll train your machines automatically. Your people get trained further based on what machines are now trained to do. And then bring again another layer of training machines. So train machines, train people, train machines. You will start to see that you're applying hyper automation. And that's the chronology of events that I would suggest any business that's wanting to go on this journey. Yeah.
Excellent. So I think the core message is first think of risk. Rather than just advancing the cause, think of the risk first, see what is highest value to you. I would even add value into the picture where you think risk and value together and quantify those items, right? So what are your crown jewels, highest value items, and then start addressing that risk. And if I can recollect the way you said, we start thinking of this risk. Now you start thinking at scale and speed, right? Scale is how do you cut the noise? How do you focus on the high value alerts which are coming in? How do you get machines to respond on your behalf at scale? And third step would be bringing in your experts who are now working on top of what these machines are doing for you. Right? Absolutely. So that would be a framework of sorts. All right. This was very helpful. Uttam, thanks so much for sharing some of those nuggets of knowledge. We look forward to talking to you in forthcoming sessions.
Thank you, Saurabh. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for listening, guys.